Lord Jameson, don't freeze when the power goes kaput tomorrow. Question: how would Seattle Mayor Houston Wade attack the homeless problem? The only way that the homeless problem can be attacked is on the national level. And my second or third show is all about this, about murdering the healthcare system. And you have to get rid of private insurance. You have to make a national healthcare system because a large part of homelessness is a medical crisis. It's people with psychosis, people with deep seated trauma, PTSD, other forms of trauma, and folks with alcohol and drug addictions. All three of those things can be treated medically, but they can't get treated medically because the only way you get insurance in this country is if you have a job. If you don't have a job and you're homeless, you don't have insurance. So you're not going to have access to the resources you need to make your life better and do not be a burden on society. Um, so, Seattle can try to do as much as they can with trying to like house people, but without addressing the roots of their homelessness, which is psychosis, addiction, and trauma. Sometimes addiction and trauma definitely go together. You're not going to actually fix anything. So, if you want to instantly save $2.2 trillion a year in the American economy, you nationalize the healthcare system because our healthcare system is so top heavy with administrators for administrating insurance. That's where so much of the money goes, and it makes things really expensive. And if you don't have a single payer system, you don't have bulk purchasing power of the government to do these things, and it makes healthcare really expensive. And what it should be is hospitals operate at cost. Doctors are paid a salary. They don't have to worry about billing or any other crap. They just do their doctor job, and that's it for the day. Nurses do their job. They don't have to worry about submitting billing or anything else. You don't have to worry about having all these administrators to argue with insurance companies. You don't have the doctors at the insurance companies. Their job is to deny you coverage. People just get treated, and that's it. At no out-of-pocket cost to them. It just comes out of their taxes, and it would cost the U.S. $850 billion to $1.4 trillion a year, which is about how much we pay in Medicare and Medicaid anyway. So if we can get people off the street and get them the treatment they need cheaper than it costs us through our regular healthcare system, I think that's the way it goes. Because right now, the reason why Seattle has its homeless population is a couple of reasons. One, it's really expensive. So people who are borderline, like they might be working, but they don't make enough money because they're working at a Starbucks or a McDonald's or something. They don't make enough money for a house. Might be living in their car or camping trailer. So they're borderline people that could, under normal circumstances, afford a place to live. And then you have the fact that all the services are in Seattle. So if you're homeless and you're in another city in the area, you end up being a gutter ball in Seattle because that's where the shelters and the soup kitchens are. They aren't in the hinterlands. And you have problems like, the Yakima County Sheriff's Office. When they release people from jail, they put them in a van and they drive them and drop them off in Seattle 150 miles away. So they don't have to worry about the homeless problems in their city. So it's kind of a little trifecta there that causes a lot of the homelessness. But yeah, that's the simplest way to cure homelessness in America is to have nationalized healthcare. And on top of that, we need to have basically one bed, one psychological bed for an institutionalized bed for about one every 500 or 600 people in America. Her tail's wagging like crazy as she plays with that thing. And yeah, you need at least one bed for every 500 or 600 people. And what we need to do is we need to have community mental health permanent residence for a lot of folks. Not just like these big hospitals that are far away from the city, but like each county in America needs to have a facility. Because a lot of what these folks need is not just to be squirreled away and forgotten about in a mental health hospital. They need to be able to have access to their friends and family, right? I mean, like knowing you're not alone and you're just being forgotten about goes a long ways. And this is what Kennedy was trying to build in 1963, and he got passed by Congress, was this Community Health Act to build these hospital beds all over America. Because he saw what his sister went through, and she gets sent off to a hospital far away, won't see the family for a long time, and he knew that was like detrimental to the families. Problem is, when he got assassinated, is that Congress never funded his bill. Didn't get funded until 1980 with Jimmy Carter, and the first thing that Reagan did when he got elected was he cut the funding for it. And not only cut the funding for it, but he cut all federal funding for mental health, and the streets just flooded with people with psychosis. And our homeless problem is almost 100% Reagan's fault. That's, I mean, another way to put it. Like our homeless problem is thanks to Reagan, and now we've got like systemic homelessness in certain places. You go to Skid Row in Los Angeles, which is actually named after Skid Row in Seattle, which is now called Pioneer Square. Um, you've got people that are like fourth generation Skid Row, right? They've been living in tents for generations. So you try to convince this person to move into a house. They've never been in a house, right? They don't know how to live in a house. It's completely foreign. They know how to live in a tent on the street. All their friends are there. So if you're going to try and like pull them out of this homelessness and bring them to a home, something completely unfamiliar with, and everyone's fears change, like, why would I go to a home when my friends are here? This is what I'm used to. This is my living. So, we have to do, and it sounds terrible, but like a re-education, right? Like, or educate people how to be domesticated. and we got tens of thousands of people that are the children of the homeless, and they they're scared to leave what they know and move into a, a better life because it's unfamiliar to them. They don't know how to do it, and so it's going to take a lot of effort on our behalf, and we're going to have to entice a lot more people to go into mental health careers than we have right now. We're going to have to get rid of 2 million administrators and have a lot more doctors available in this country. And right now it's really hard because a lot of doctors and nurses after COVID are like, I'm out. I'm never doing this again. So we're having a big burnout rate. So we need a lot more people to get in there. And I'm not sure exactly how we're gonna entice them. But we probably do need to relax standards at medical schools, allow more people in, and not make your residency so torturous. 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. That should be residency. Shouldn't be 24-hour shifts and people, having mental health problems because they're in residency. Make it easier.